Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Wuthering Waves reaction. Today we have Radiance Across Sea and Sky. I thought I got to this one, but apparently I didn't. I did even look at the video when I searched it up and was getting the link. It was purple, so it means I've clicked on it. I haven't heard the song, so I don't know why that is. Maybe it was one memory failing. Maybe it was one that I almost did last time, but ended up going with a different one for some reason. That does happen sometimes, but it's wild that I don't remember at all what it was or why I clicked on it, and I don't find it on my channel anywhere when I look, so I'm like, okay, maybe I am just going crazy finally. Maybe all of these songs I've listened to over the time on the channel has finally driven me insane. Either way, we're going to be listening to this one today and seeing what it has in store, so I guess without further ado, let's go!
My voice will rise, my fate is planned, no crown was given, I made it mine.
Yeah, there's no way I've heard this.
Like thunderstruck land, and my spirit haven't drawn the line.
Love that harmony at the beginning. Ooh. Went the dark route. I mean, that makes sense from where it was starting. Oh. That cinematic scaling. I mean, I could kind of feel it, but I didn't think it was going to get that intense. Yep. It did the thing I was expecting. Hell yeah.
Here I stand. The sacred path is spaced, engraved.
Ooh. Oh, that was a neat little detail to the sound design there.
But true romance. Life through a swamp before, careful none but I could hold. I stood to get them back to soul. Spoke the truth through ash and flame. Now I rest beyond the name. Come still, pray with me.
I'm really surprised at how they're handling the relationship of the harmonies in here. Having, honestly, most of the harmonies stick on the horns instead of focusing them in on the vocals alone. Obviously the harmonies and the vocals are in there, but I'm not used to hearing that close of a relationship for harmonies with part of the instruments, honestly. Usually it is a lot more just vocal centric. Ooh. Yeah, that was a really cool way to handle that. I can't remember the last time I heard a song do that with the harmonies and the vocals on the melody kind of matching, meeting somewhere in the middle. Usually one is a lot more pronounced than the other, so that is a cool approach to that. So like I said, really interesting way to handle the harmonies on here. It might not be super obvious to everybody what they were doing there, but to me it was very unique, where they had obviously the harmonies in the background, the backing vocals that were doing the harmonies to the main melody, but then they also had the backing of the horns and that whole horn section, all of the brass, kind of mimicking what the harmonies were doing. So they were working in tandem to be the support for this, but not in the standard way that I'm used to hearing, which is usually, again, the vocals kind of being a separate thing on their own, with the melody and the harmony vocals working together, and then the brass and all the other instruments are kind of doing their own thing in the background, usually running some sort of a counter melody, and they're not going in the same direction. So having the brass kind of match the harmony in this was a super neat thing that I don't think I've heard that many times, or if I have, it hasn't been like the core function of it. Whereas in this song, I was noticing it a few times in the early part, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. But then as I like really locked into it in the second half, I was like, wait, they're doing that like everywhere. That's really neat. And honestly, I think that might have something to do with the character. Like, if I can get into my character diagnosis here and figure out what all that is about, I feel like that is definitely a character trait that they're trying to reflect. So if I had to assume what that would be, with the counter melodies being there and the support kind of matching the harmonies and just having something that's a little asymmetrical musically, something that's not super standard, maybe that's part of the character, where like that counter melody is signaling somebody who's kind of at odds with themselves or their own belief system, and what they're doing or what they've done in the past is almost exactly countering what they're currently doing and their belief system. Like, it's almost kind of a turncoat vibe, like somebody who has been touting this one belief, and whether or not they actually truly believed in it is a whole separate argument, but they've held that one belief publicly for the longest time, to the point where it became kind of part of their personality. And then we got this, like the reality of the situation. And that's like the juxtaposition we're getting in this song. That's that fighting, the counter melodies and harmonies, where the support is there. Obviously, it's a lot of support, but the melody is doing something against that. And even though the support is trying to back it, the melody is still locked up here and on its own. So while you would usually call a harmony a unifying force in the song, there is a single, like, omnipresent moment. Like, that's the melody. This is its own separate thing up here, while all of the harmonies are kind of doing their own thing while trying their best to support this. And it's not that the harmonies aren't supporting it, like I said, it's just the fact that everything else is doing something different than this one property of the song, and that's usually reflective of the person the song is about or who's presenting the song to you. So whatever the character is, whoever they are, they're the only thing up here in this belief, while everything else below them, or maybe even who they deem to be below them, is down here singing something else, even if it is like by musical properties supporting the melody. It's not necessarily following and falling in line. It's very, very interesting to think about that, but that might be something. There might be something there where that could be the character's reflection in this song. The rest of it was just tragic. Like, the song, the breath of it all, it's very pained, it's strained. All of the chords and everything had not all of the dissonance in the world, but very cinematic, tragic energy, that classic sad, like, rainy day or disappointment, the god floating among you looking down as the world burns, and this single entity is just standing there watching it all and not doing anything to necessarily help it, and they might have even been the one to cause it. So like, I always try to guess the character stuff relating to the songs, because when they do boss themes or character themes, if it's supposed to reflect a moment in the game, a narrative piece in the story, I like to try and figure out what those may be with just the music alone, because usually they do a very good job at reflecting all of those character traits, sometimes better than others, but this one, with all of what it was doing, from that tragedy, that sadness, that like pain in this song, it feels more like a pain than anything else. Like, if this person isn't the one who caused all of this pain and confusion that the song is representing, then they're definitely the one benefiting from it the most. You know, like, there's still and always feels like the main character here, whether they're the one struggling or they're the one causing the struggle, they're the winner in the situation, however that may be the case. And that's such an interesting thing to hear in this song. Again, with that counter melody, and the harmony is just like locking together everything below it, separating itself from that single entity up there, that single character, whatever they're doing, is just completely separate from everything else in the song. And that's just really cool to think about. I don't know if I've had a song that's like given me that feeling yet at all. Like in the years I've been doing this, I think that might be a first. But as always, I won't know if you guys don't tell me if I'm even in the ballpark here. So let me know in the comments below. Feel free to leave a gigantic paragraph of lore. I am not worried about spoilers or anything. If you're worried about sharing spoilers, just be aware that they might be down there if you're listening to this, and don't scroll down. But me, I like to read lore dumps in the comments section. So let me know if I'm right, or even more so, like add as many details as you feel comfortable. I love to read those. But I think I have yapped enough about this one, so I will call it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to request something else, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to it. Otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!